Good afternoon, everybody. Today I'm going to be reviewing Monday, January 13th, 2025. Can't even believe it's 2025 yet. Where the hell did 2024 go? Time is flying. Anyways, today we're going to be reviewing all the trades I took to make a little bit over $17,000. Every single trade shared live with you guys as always. As you guys can see here, I give every single entry and exit. So we're basically just going to be reviewing every single trade. We're going to be doing this in replay mode, so you guys are able to see every single trade taken as if you're currently in it right now. So without further ado, let's get into it. So this day I skipped the first hour. I noticed that we were kind of gapping down, so I said, okay, I'm just gonna wait until the first hour is kind of over, see if we're chopping, if we're trending, if we're trending up, trending down, if we're chopping just up and down, and based on that, I'll look to take a trade, whether either shorting a pop or buying a dip or just playing the range. It's basically just my three strategies. So yeah, so at this point right here, I'm thinking, okay, we just came back down. Looks like we might be bouncing up, down, up, down, up, down. I kind of want to buy in this area. So yeah, let's get into the replay. So for further context, this is the 5-minute opening range high. This is the 5-minute opening range low. What this means is this is the high of the first 5 minutes of the day. This is the low of the first 5 minutes of the day, and then this is the mid between them. So if you do 785 minus 742, you get a certain number, and then that divided by 2 is just this is just the middle of that range. So if you see here, the first 5 minutes, this was the high, this was the low. So we plot those, and I find those to be really good key points for the rest of the day. And then the 200% and the 100% and the 100%, it just means this range added on top of this again. So if the range here is 10, opening range high plus 10, you get this first extension, hence 100%. Then you add another 10, you get the 200%, etc. So at this point right here, I'm thinking, okay, I'm interested in buying somewhere around 750 to 745. As long as I could really get close to the opening range low, this would probably be my ideal setup. So I'm loving this consolidation right here. What I'm looking for is a liquidity sweep of this 848 right here. As long as we could kind of sweep near the opening range low and come back up, this would be my entry point, and I would have a stop loss just a little bit under this wick right here at 836, 736, 735, basically where this area here, just a little bit under the opening range low. Hence, if we break down under this, then the breakup most likely fails. What I'm looking at is I'm starting to see this curl, kind of make this cup move. So this is kind of what I'm looking at. I'm looking just for a liquidity sweep under 748 to get my entry. We get our entry, it comes down. I get my entry at 745. I get a really good market price entry. I just finished market. I got really lucky. I was looking to get anywhere around 748, so I didn't really get anything insane. And at this point right here, I'm looking to, kind of sell anywhere above. My first target is ideally would be around 780, around this resistance right here. And then second target is anywhere between this 800 to, 830. Ideally somewhere in the 800 to 805 range where these wicks areas. Let's draw a quick rectangle. Not a rectangle. What am I saying? A rectangle. So anywhere here, that would probably be ideal. Wait. Okay. Anyways. So kind of just chopping around, which as long as we stay above this area, as long as we stay above the opening range low, this looks really good. You can see how it's starting to curl up like that. It's kind of making this smiley face. We go to 780, I sell. We go to 800, and I sell my second half. Really good trade, very low risk, a lot of reward there. I just got really lucky with the 805 sell. I wanted to sell a little bit higher, but I saw it just take its time, and it came into my box, so I figured why not just sell. Next trade, I'm looking again at a long at the same area I bought at 750 with a stop at 735 all the way at the bottom. So I enter along there. And then I just eventually get stopped out. It's the same area right here. I was just buying the same, area right there, and I had some gains to lose from here. And it just eventually broke down. I didn't really, there wasn't really much thought into this. As long as we kind of held this area, I liked it. I bought it. It flushed right away. I took a loss. So at this point here, I'm thinking, okay, if we could kind of bounce back near the opening range mid, bounce back up, take a short, and visit reback to the 100% extension down here. So since the market decided to go down, I'm thinking, okay, we could kind of just go a little bit back up to the opening range mid where we, kind of bounced last time, bounce up, and then, flush all the way back down. So that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. So we go up, I take my short, it starts rejecting, I'm like, okay, perfect. Just rejected the opening range mid. My stop is somewhere over 780, so where this previous resistance was, remember how it kept rejecting this area right here? I'm thinking, okay, as long as we kind of don't go over 780, I'm kind of targeting these all the way lows down here, which would, I'm risking 20 points to make 50, 60. Think about it, you're risking $400 to make 1200. It's an amazing risk reward. We start dumping, it just random 40-point candle explodes, and I get stopped out, unfortunately. At this point, I'm not really thinking much. I'm thinking, okay, if we can get a little bit over these highs, somewhere 830, 835, maybe 842, I could short this area. Since every time we go above this area, we kind of flush. So look here, here, here. Every time we go above this 830, we kind of come back down. So I'm thinking, okay, as long as I can kind of get a short in this area, I could target back the opening range high or even the opening range low for like a 100-point move. We start to see some selling in the area. We start seeing some buyers slowing down. So I'm thinking, okay, if we can just get a small pop above there, that would be really good. So I take my short there. Then I have a really tight stop. My stop's at 842, that wick right there. And I get stopped for 7 points. So it's not a big loss. I wanted to either be right away and have a winning trade, or if I'm wrong, then just take a small loss and move on. At this point right here, I'm thinking, okay, it's starting to come back down. We're in the same area. Maybe I was just a little bit early here, here. Possibly this bubble area again we sell from. So I'm thinking, okay, I still like this short here, but I don't want to short it down here where I took it last time. So maybe we can get a pop back to this 850s. Maybe I would take a short there. So I take a short there, 856, same area. Can see how every single time we go here, so reject here, reject here, reject here, every single time it goes there, we reject. So I'm thinking, okay, as long as this bubble kind of rejects and my stop loss is above this 200% extension, above this area right here, then we could kind of go back down. I'm targeting this 100% extension. So the thesis is basically anywhere between 830 to 870 is a big sell zone. You just need to time it properly. I'm thinking, okay, we just had a pop. We started seeing the sellers firstly come in. I'm thinking, okay, I like this area for a sell. As long as it kind of doesn't break out over this high a day here, I should be able to get 830 pretty smoothly. So we start seeing some buying slowing down. We start seeing some selling here. Another sell here. We get a big knife here. And I'm targeting 830, and I get my target really quickly. Just beautiful trade, honestly. So that trade makes up for this loss, like maybe some of this as well. We'll profit from here. So, so far so good. Just the main thesis, as I said, was anywhere in between this big box here's to sell. So sell, sell. This one should be no different. Sell again. I don't take a trade for almost an hour, so I'm gonna speed this up. So at this point right here, I'm thinking, okay, we made the lows right here and right here, and we moved back up. And instead of going all the way back down after this 100% extension, instead of moving back down, we held it on the dip and we started moving back up and we're consolidating over high of day. And we remember the breakout was over 860, so this resistance right here. So I'm thinking, okay, If we can retouch 860, I'm gonna be interested in taking it long, and for a move back up to the 900 highs. I'm thinking, okay, since we held the 830 on the dip instead of moving all the way lower, thinking, okay, this could kind of be some sort of trend day up. As long as we could kind of retest 860, I would be looking to go long to take it higher. So hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. Just because we haven't been revisiting and we're making higher lows. So higher low here, higher low here, higher low, higher low. If we can kind of hold this 860 on a dip, I'll be looking to gladly take a long. So we have this little wick right here. So I take a long at 860, and my stop is just a little bit under this candle. So I'm risking 10 points or so, and I'm looking to make a little bit over 40. So I'm risking $200 to make 800, or 400 to make 1600, whatever. So we're holding this area, which is I'm loving this. As long as we kind of hold this 860, it looks great. And we just get a massive move up, a nice sell at the 900 area. Get another lucky sell there at 905. I set a limit order. And I was just looking to sell a little bit over 900. I wasn't looking for a massive breakout yet, just because it's only tapped it once, and we're still pretty early in the day. So anywhere over 900, I was just looking to sell. Went to 905, went to like 909 or something, yeah, and it started coming down. So I just sold at 905, and then we retested back there. At this point here, I'm thinking, okay, there is a lot of sellers in this area. If you notice, we sold down from here. We sold down from here. What do you think is going to happen here again? And I could take this with a super small stop and target, like somewhere 870, 880, where we keep on bouncing, kind of this area right here. Draw a quick rectangle. So just like kind of target this area here. So anywhere, so short it here, then kind of buy it as it comes back down in this area. It's kind of what I'm looking at, because every time we go towards 900, we sell. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm just gonna short 900 to 910, somewhere in that area, and try to take it short all the way back down there. So we go to 908 and I sell there. I sell right as that candle closed, and I have a 10-point stop, so I'm risking like 10 points. I'm trying to make 30, 40, so somewhere back in this box. Since every time we go there, we just sell off. And the trade works really quickly. So right as I sell, it consolidates in that area for a quick minute or two. Then it just goes right back into the box where I talked about, where it kept bouncing from here, here, here. And I take my profits. So at this point, I'm thinking, okay, we buy this area and we sell up here, right? But I'm kind of looking at the bigger picture of, okay, this kind of maybe wants to move up. It's holding the box where it used to sell at. So as long as we're kind of holding above 830, this could just squeeze up in the last hour or two, So I'm starting to really like this long, because we tried to dip lower than 850, and we bounced right back away. So I'm thinking, okay, if we can like bounce up and then come back one more time, I could have a stop loss under this like 842, maybe at 840, maybe a really generous stop under this 830, and then my target would be, because if this trade doesn't come back down to 830, I could be targeting 900 all the way up here. Obviously, I wouldn't be targeting that. I'd probably be targeting somewhere at 880 to 890, so somewhere in this box, right here. So basically where we sold off last time, I'm thinking, okay, I could maybe, if this could bounce, come back down, take it long somewhere here with a stop loss under this blue line, and then target where we sold off initially. Just like great risk reward. So we come down a little bit, we hold it, and we start to consolidate. So you see this candle here, it starts to come down. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna buy this, and I'm just gonna have a stop under 835. I'm risking 15 points, and there's a potential rocket all the way back up there. Just because we're not going lower. If you look at the overall market, we're not going lower, we're going higher. And we had a big pivot at 700. And this is 150 points higher, and there's no strong sell-off. We bounced, and this is just a little dip this could be a little dip in a much bigger uptrend. So I'm thinking, okay, as long as we kind of hold this, above 830, I'm looking for a 10, 15 point stop entry, because under 835, we can just go back to 820, 815, where I could just find another better entry, right? So I'm thinking, okay, as long as we could kind of get this 850 here, we could, just kind of squeeze back up there. and I just sell there. Maybe there's a little bit too early of a sell because this ended up squeezing a little bit higher. Remember, I was just targeting this area, so I wasn't really looking for that much. At this point right here, I'm thinking, okay, this looks fantastic. If you see here, it's holding this 200% extension. We held this on the dip. As long as we kind of keep holding this 870 to 880, this could just absolutely rocket up. Literally just like fly up. And we're starting to break high a day here. We're going up. We do eventually come back down, but so lots of scalp opportunities there. As long as it keeps holding this 872, can keep scalping it. But I'm not really looking to scalp. I'm trying to buy this 872 to 880 to take it long for like 980 or something, or somewhere back into the 21,000s. Because as you see here, it's just moving higher. We're not going lower. If you look at what the market's doing, shorts have been getting screwed. It's up 200 points and it's showing no signs of weakness. Matter of fact, it's showing signs of strength because it's holding the previous high of day here, previous high of day, and it keeps bouncing off of it, which means seller turned into buyer. Sellers could get squeezed over this 900, 920. So at this point here, I'm looking for a dip back into this 885. I set a limit order, so I'm looking at 885. I'm like, all right, if I could, buy this area here and have a stop loss like just a little bit over this blue line, a little bit above, because under the blue line, I don't want to be long. I want to be long only if price is trading above the blue line, so we could go higher. Kind of this like big support area. We could just imagine every time we go blue line, there's a buyer. So I don't want to be under the buyer, so I get in long there, and I stop out. I get a very unfortunate stop out. I get a stop out literally at the bottom of the wick, where right above the blue line. Very unfortunate. I should have maybe set it somewhere right here at 870, 5 points lower. Who knows? But I just didn't want to risk getting a knife under blue line right there. And I get in along again because I still really like the same area, same exact price. Because as long as we're holding this 200% extension, this could really just like squeeze up. I'm really really bullish. Especially if you look at the 5 minute, for example. This looks great. It held the dip here. It's just looking fantastic. Let's go back to the 1 minute. So I get it along there again, and we're up. I get a mouse. I just put myself at break even. Might have been a dumb decision, but I put it at break even. Just because I don't want to lose my last trade of the day, and there's only 20 minutes left. So I just put it at break even. I'm like, all right, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it is what it is. I get stopped out break even once again, all the way at the wick, and you should check out what happens. Yeah, yeah. Very unfortunate there. I was looking to go long. I tried buying here, tried buying here. Very good entries. And I told myself, as long as we're over this 872, this looks great. I got a little bit greedy there. I got a little bit too, not greedy, the word. I should say I got a little bit too protective. Because I didn't want to end the day on a loss, on a losing trade. I should have just put my stop loss normally under the 100 the 872 as I've planned, right? So maybe put it at 870. So I'm risking only 15 points, to make potentially 100. I'm risking $300 to make $2,000, which in reality I'm risking like 3,000 to make 20,000. So it was a great trade, but I stopped out break even. Could have re-entered on the dip lower, but I just didn't, and it ended up squeezing a lot higher. So, hopefully this recap was helpful. Hopefully every trade you guys kind of understand. This one I was just buying the dip, sold at the resistance here, sold at the first resistance and second resistance. Could have taken this as well, but whatever. I tried buying this one more time. So same area, same stop. I got stopped. So one time it worked, one time it didn't. But the thing is, we make a lot more when we win versus when we lose. I figured this could come back down, so I shorted this and we squeezed up higher. So at this point right here, I'm thinking, okay, it didn't want to go back down. We're probably gonna, go up. But every single time we go to 830 to 870, we sell. So I tried selling this, didn't work. I waited for a better entry. I saw where sellers joined first time at 858. Waited for it to retest the same area with a stop above this blue line right here. Took it, dumped to my level, and I cashed out. And then I realized we're kind of bullish here. This, a breakout retest of 860. So resistance turned into support. I buy 860. I sell at the new high a day, right above 900. I noticed there's a lot of sellers at 900, so sell here, sellers here, maybe sellers here again. So I short it, and I buy again near the blue box at 872, and then it comes back down, holds on the dip. It doesn't break 830. So in my head, I'm thinking as long as we're above 830, I would love this to go up. So I buy it on the dip, on the way up. So notice I don't buy it on the way down. I'm buying it on the way up. I feel like that's a really big thing people should learn, because you don't want to be on the wrong side of the move. So I'm buying it on the way up instead of the way down. So it's a lot better that I bought here, for example, versus buying here. Because if I bought here, it could have went down there. But since I'm buying on the way up, I now have a defined stop loss of where I could, be wrong, if that makes sense. And I sold at this resistance. Sold too early, but it doesn't really matter. We're in great profits anyways. I noticed it's holding this 872 level, insanely strong support in this area. So we could just draw this draw this box right here. So every single time we go down, there's a buyer. You see buyer, 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 buyer. So I noticed that. And I'm like, all right, I want to buy this area so we could break out over this 930. Take a tiny stop loss here, right basically where the buyer is. I should have waited for a little bit of better entry at 870 and have a stop a little bit lower. Then I tried again and I get out break even not for a loss, for literally $0 profit. And turns out that was the bottom. It ends up going up. So that was kind of the recap summarized. So yeah, I hope this recap was helpful. We made a little bit over $17,000, I believe, or 17,500, something like that. It took the whole day. It was a great session, very easy, beautiful setups. Today was a little bit harder, but that was it. Thank you guys for watching. I hope these helped. I'm gonna try to do these maybe 3 times a week from now on. So comment anything you want to see in the future. Comment anything that you want to see me do, review. Any recommendations will be very helpful. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for trading live again. I forgot to show this, but all the trades were shared live, as you guys could see here. Every single trade stopped, bought. 80% of you guys were green. Shorted, targeting this area, looking for a dump, bought, longed, sold. So every single trade is basically shared live, and lots of you guys are banking. So I love to see that. Let's see how many of you guys made money. 77% of you made money that day, and only 20% of you didn't. So 76 versus 20. So great day. That's it for me. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great night, everybody. Take it easy.